Welcome, dear viewers. Today, we delve into a fascinating and often misunderstood aspect of history, Viking weddings. Steeped in rich traditions and a sacredness that was intertwined with every aspect of their life, Viking weddings were indeed a spectacle to behold. The rituals, the beliefs, and the symbolism behind every act was a testament to their deep reverence for their gods, their culture, and their ancestors. Let's start with the journey of betrothal. Long before the wedding day, negotiations would take place between the families of the soon-to-be bride and groom. It was often a matter of great importance, as marriages were not just a bond between two individuals, but an alliance between two families or even clans. Dowries and bride prices were agreed upon, with both parties keen to ensure a fair deal. In Viking culture, marriages were a practical affair, as much as a romantic one, serving to strengthen social bonds, secure alliances, and enhance family fortunes. Contrary to some modern misconceptions, Viking women held considerable influence and power, and their consent in marriage matters was essential. A marriage would only proceed if the woman agreed, underlying the respect Vikings had for their womenfolk. This respect was further demonstrated in the bridal preparation rituals. The bride would undergo a symbolic cleansing ceremony, discarding her kransen, a maiden's headdress, signifying her transition from maidenhood to married life. The attire for the wedding was a colorful display of the Vikings' craftsmanship. The bride would wear a long dress, often blue or red, adorned with metallic threads of gold and silver, demonstrating her family's wealth and status. Her hair would be left loose, a symbol of femininity, adorned with flowers or simple jewelry. The groom, on the other hand, would be dressed in his finest warrior gear or a ceremonial tunic and trousers, armed with a sword that had been passed down through generations. As for the ceremony itself, it was a grand event, taking place on a Friday, a day dedicated to the goddess Frigg, the deity of love and marriage. It was no hasty affair, but a ceremony that extended over several days, highlighting the significance and sacredness of the occasion. The proceedings were led by a Gothi, a Viking priest, who would ask the ancestors and gods to bless the union. The exchange of swords is one of the most powerful and symbolic moments in a Viking wedding. The groom would present his ancestral sword to the bride, signifying that he is entrusting her with his honor and protection. The bride, in turn, would gift the groom with a sword representing her family lineage, signifying the acceptance of her new protector. This exchange was a deeply moving moment, filled with solemnity and profound implications for their shared future. The couple would then exchange vows, or more accurately promises, in front of their gathered kin and the Gothi. They would pledge to honor, respect, and protect each other, an oath taken with the utmost seriousness. It was not just a promise to each other, but also to their families and the gods, tying them together in a bond that was sacred and inviolable. After the vows, the bride and groom were declared husband and wife, but the celebrations were far from over. A great feast would follow, full of merriment, music, and dance. Vikings were famed for their love of a good party, and a wedding was the perfect occasion to indulge in this love. Mead, a drink sacred to the Vikings and associated with the god of poetry, Bragi, would flow freely, and the newlyweds would drink from a ceremonial bridal ale cup, sealed with a kiss. The food served was a testament to the family's wealth and hospitality. Roasted meats, fresh fish, hearty loaves of bread, and a bounty of seasonal fruits and vegetables would be laid out for the guests to enjoy. The feast was also an opportunity for storytelling, with tales of gods, ancestors, and legendary heroes shared, infusing the atmosphere with a sense of history and tradition. One of the most significant parts of the feast was the presentation of the keys to the groom by the bride. These keys represented the management of the household and symbolized that the groom was now part of her household, a potent symbol of her status and authority within their new shared home. As the feast drew to a close, the couple would be escorted to their bridal bed, often by a procession of their family and friends carrying torches. This procession was not just a joyful end to the wedding celebrations, but a symbolic representation of their journey together as a married couple, surrounded by the warmth and support of their community. To wrap up, Viking weddings were a rich tapestry of tradition, belief, and sacred rituals. They were occasions of grand celebration and solemn promises, reflecting the Vikings' deep-seated reverence for their gods, their ancestors, and the sacred bond of marriage. Each ritual, from the initial negotiations to the wedding feast, was imbued with a deep sense of meaning and purpose, a testament to the sacredness of their matrimonial customs. Understanding Viking weddings helps us to understand more about the Viking way of life, their beliefs, their values, and their worldview. These weddings are a window into the fascinating era of history, a time of warriors and seafarers, poets and priests, explorers and traders. So next time you think of Vikings, remember, they weren't just fierce warriors, but also a people with a deep sense of tradition, honor, and sacredness. A people for whom a wedding was not just a celebration, but a sacred ceremony that marked the beginning of a new journey, a journey undertaken together, under the watchful eyes of their gods and ancestors.